Hi. Recently on Mail Call video number 20, I unpacked, or I didn't unpack, I had it unpacked. Anyway, I reviewed a bunch of music and sound MC602 equipment that a viewer of this channel donated to me to bolster up our ability to be able to work on and repair these models. This is that MC602. Before I put it all away, after making that video, I decided I would sort of put it all together here real quick, power it up, and see if it actually worked or not, because it was unclear whether it did or would. Here's the MC602. I have it powered up on power transformer back here. I have the chime module connected here, chime module, and I have one of the inside N65 RS remote speakers wired up to it. I sort of made up a quick 4-conductor cable to hook up to it, and I was pleasantly surprised that when I powered it up, clock came on, I was able to set the time. It is actually 11:15 a.m. this morning, and if we go ahead and turn the power on, the radio plays. Couple different presets, and apparently the intercom seems to work correctly. If I do room talk on the remote, comes out of the master. Feedback is because the speakers are too close together, and I probably have the intercom volume set way too high. We can, we apparently have some hugely dirty volume pots on there. And I think perhaps we can right off the bat, this is sort of an impromptu service call. So the kind of pots, the pots are accessible on the back for the most part. I put a little bit of Deoxit D5, the recommended cleaner for something like this on intercom systems. Please do not use TV tuner or some kind of solvent cleaner made by some other company that makes cleaners for carburetors. Use the right stuff. So a little bit into the slot of the pot, and now well, it's still a little hard to turn, mostly because I have big fingers and the little stems here are really short. Now it's not noisy. Turn the radio back on for a second. Much better. So now, sound comes out here. We'll do listen. And then if we do door talk, I have it connected to a door speaker over there. And door listen. So that works correctly. We can turn the music on. We can raise the volume. We can lower the volume all the way down to 0 and it shuts off. Turn it back on. We can scan. And now we'll turn it off. So it works correctly. One of the interesting things on this, when I powered this up, I'm not sure how long ago this was actually taken out and how long it took to get here. Probably about a week to get here, I would imagine. But I think, although I don't know because I haven't taken it apart, the presets for the radio stations were still preset. So if it's like other later music and sound models, instead of using some sort of rechargeable backup battery, because I know there is a microprocessor or microcontroller on the display board, and I assume that's where the memoried radio stations are stored, there's probably a supercapacitor instead of like a rechargeable nickel metal hydride battery pack or something like that. And apparently it lasts a long time because, you know, figure it was at least 2 weeks since it was disconnected at a minimum, and the stations were still programmed in. So that's kind of cool. These room control switches down here are a lot like the room control switches I see on DMC34s, which are fairly hard to move. I think they are, I don't know if they're the top quality, probably not, but they certainly will need to be cleaned and so on and so on. Intercom works from the from the master station also. And door, both buttons together. And that's a door listen, like that. So it seems to be a fully functional MC602. Oh, and we can ring the chime module. So we'll ring it. It's a 1-note or 3-note chime module. So we'll ring 1 note. And now we'll ring 3 notes. Not, in my opinion, the most pleasant sounding chime module I've ever heard, but it is sort of classic music and sound. There are adjustments on here. There's one for volume and there's one for what they label as frequency. I know you can't really see this very well right here. Frequency right here. I did mark on the pots where they are set right now. So let's go ahead, just have a quick play around and move the frequency one and then ring it again. And that's actually much better. Let's turn it, that's as far down as it goes. Let's turn it all the way the other way and see how awful it probably sounds. We don't like that at all. That sounds like something when you go through the drive-thru at Jack in the Box. So, the old school Jack in the Box. The one with the clowns, not the ones they have today. So that actually sounds better. And I would suspect that since this is a variable resistor, that if you figured out what value this is, high and low, you probably could replace this with one with a wider range and possibly, because I think I have it set at the lower setting. I'm not certain. I'd have to take it out to see. But anyway, whichever way it is, you probably could make it more or less than the ends of the resistance now and change the tone even more and perhaps get it a little lower, which in my opinion makes it sound better. It's also easier for people to hear, especially people in, let's say older than 30. Lower tones are easier to hear than high tones. Anyway, so it seems to be a fully functional MC602. I appreciate Roger who sent this in to me. I did notice here when I was playing around with it, it does have a crack in the top of the faceplate right here. I don't think it's from shipping. It probably has been like that because also the grill here at the top, which is to aid ventilation, is kind of mangled, so it's had a questionable life. The door fell off, you know, the little things, but it doesn't matter because it's basically it's an educational model. It's for learning on. So I just thought I would show it real quick before I disconnect it all and put it up on the shelf until I need it for something. I hope you found this interesting and maybe for someone it will be helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell, and when you click on the bell, click on it to receive all notifications. And every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.